Welcome to Calling Out with Susan Pinsky, a place where Susan can introduce to you psychics, clairvoyants, past lives, and paranormal experiences. Now, here's your host, Susan Pinsky.
Oh, God. Hey, everyone. How are you? It's me, Susan Pinsky, and I just broke Drew's mic. I'm back on Calling Out with Susan Pinsky, and today we have a spooky show with some demons in the room. We have my co-host today it's not Dr. Drew.
Good.
He's actually going to be the expert. We're going to interview in a minute. He's just had a life-changing experience with a new medium who happens to be a transformational energy healer, and we'll introduce her in a minute. First of all, my co-host today is a bad guy, and it's Halloween, so I like the bad guys.
I play a bad guy on TV.
Yes, it's James Preston Rogers, everyone.
I got a co-host, guys. Got the co-host today. Fantastic show. We got a great lineup.
You have to interview me, dude.
Oh, dude, I don't
Get
know.
on it.
Let me get my co-host.
We're kind
ready.
of tight in on him though, Nate. Maybe we can scroll out a little bit, or go a little higher. Oh, there he is. We want to see his amazing
I cannot
body parts.
I got to tell you something, everybody. Speaking of the body parts, I cannot help but look at that image of you and I sitting side by side. And I just think about sweaty balls. That's all I think about. It's Christmas time. It's time for the sweaty balls.
I love Alec Baldwin. Yes.
Does that not look like that?
Yeah. Maybe we can get a new job.
These are good balls.
So anyways, James was on a previous podcast with Bob Saget. I don't know if anybody, and Mary Lynn Rashkup. I can't remember how to say her last name, but
Rice Cup.
Boy, she's been out there a lot lately. I've seen her on everything.
Yeah, she's getting some work. Good for her. She's very talented. She deserves it.
Yes, and we all need work. We all need help in Hollywood. So that's why we brought in today's guest, who is Lisa Thomas. She, as I said, is a transformational energy healer. She empowers individuals to reach their full potential by removing inherited emotional blocks. She connects with our spirits in our brains, I guess, from our past, and emotional blocks such as fear of success, fear of failure, anxiety, procrastination, to name a few. Now, this is everybody say hi to Lisa.
Hi, Lisa.
She just spent about 45 minutes with Drew.
Really? Was that 45 minutes?
It flies, right?
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And he's gonna get into the logistics of what went on and how he felt about it. Also today we have Jennifer Shaffer, who is my resident psychic medium, forensic person, who is going to also be on the next podcast, which is going to be really exciting with a special guest. So I want you guys to all tune in. I don't know if anybody's watching this right now. We got 26 people, but I want you to share.
We love you.
We can't promote in advance. I mean, I would love to do big PR, but we can't say who's here.
Right.
And we do have a special guest calling in who's going to get some advice from Lisa. He's on the phone, and this is a friend of James, and James is going to sort of help him deal with whatever comes out. James has done this before, so he kind of gets it.
So you should let Lisa describe what she does.
Yes, and so first of all, wait, I just want to make sure we have our guest on the line, Robert.
Are you there, buddy?
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, baby.
Yes.
You're there, bro.
So
Yay!
we haven't given any information. We haven't said anything to anybody about who we are and what we do, but we do just sort of let these mediums or these energy healers just sort of do their thing and tap into whatever energy that they're feeling from you. So we're going to start with Robert because he is in the middle of a scare fest somewhere. So we went, happy Halloween, everybody. So, Lisa, I'd love for you to connect with our caller and get started, and then we'll tap into whatever happened to Drew after that and see how it compares in his.
Okay.
And if you can. Do you think you can do that?
Right, I can do that.
Okay, good. You have to get
Is there
around
any
the
way you can mute? He can mute himself.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, or mute the background.
We go in and out.
We can.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Nate
Nate.
will take
You
care
tell
of it. Okay,
Nate.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just
Okay.
tell Nate what to do. He'll do it.
Perfect. So, can you tell me what it is in your life that you need help with?
Robert.
Yes, Robert.
Oh,
Now's the
I'm
time.
sorry. Okay, yes, for me, yeah, guys. James and I were speaking about this yesterday, and I'm at loss. Like, this weekend was an amazing weekend for me, and I don't know, like, maybe I need help on staying below the speed limit, perhaps. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty good, guys.
Yeah.
I have difficulty. Sometimes I have difficulty shopping because I'm so unique. I'm 6'10" and I weigh 300 pounds, so sometimes it's hard to find shoes for me. I wear size 17 or pants or suit jackets. But,
Dude, if that's your only problem in
That's
life.
your only problem,
That's
then
it.
you've
You
got
don't need
this.
me.
You don't,
Yeah,
you don't
you
need
don't
Lisa
need
for that,
me.
man.
No.
You need a
I
cobbler.
can't afford to go like having a custom tailor to make my suits, but
All right. So,
I don't know. I've got 2 daughters and they're straight A students, and they're an amazing athletes, and they're everything's going kind of cool for me, guys. Yeah, this was a phenomenal weekend for me too. I'm at one of the largest shows for entertainment of haunts and haunted houses and Halloween, and it went fantastic for me.
Jennifer's trying to say something.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. Well, I just got that your throat's hurting, but what I got on that part of the, your throat hurting was the fact that you...
Mine?
Yes. That you need to
Oh,
scream...
I am eating almonds in the background. I apologize if you can hear that.
No, that's not what I'm getting at. It's a figurative.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
So I feel like you can scream super loud and nobody can catch up with the scream. So like when you're at work, you could do so much more, but yet
Right.
a lot of, I don't know if it's executives or they haven't seen what you could do yet. And I already know that you're I already know that you're out there. I already know because of this, but I just feel like you're trying to find another way to make yourself different. And it's in a different route. Does that make sense? And I think you might have even hired somebody to take you through, like, not an acting coach, but somebody that's going to help you with this.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you?
One thing is for sure, like, my daughters are young, and as the last few years have expired, I find myself super busy with my kids, so I don't have time to take care of myself as far as exercising goes. So my body has been a little neglected, but not that totally matters in the business. But James and I often go for the same rows, and we're supposed to be these big, bad, mean, heavy guys. And when you have a beer belly, that's
teddy
a
bears.
challenge. That's one thing I do need to change. But
Tate Fletcher is going to get your job.
Happy where I am.
Right.
Say it again?
Right.
Tate Fletcher is going to get your job.
Yeah, right, exactly. Some six-pack dude, right?
Yeah.
I think Lisa's starting to feel that.
Yeah, Lisa's feeling
I
you, bro. Hold
actually
on.
think you have a fear of being criticized. I think you have a fear of, being called out on something when you're trying really hard. I think you're a great guy. I think you're working really hard in the industry. I think you're extremely talented. You have a good friend over here that cares about you, and your friend thinks you can be more. He thinks you can have more happiness, and somewhere you feel like you're missing out in life. And my advice would be to really embrace who you are, because there's this deep lack of confidence, and yet you're showing up. You're doing everything. You're a great father. You're there for your kids, and yet where's the love for you? So there's something missing. You're missing love. You're missing a deep connection. Yeah, but it's there for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
James is tearing up.
Is that what it is? No, it's the lights in here, man. The lights are kind of messing up.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
It's just like that's the whole screaming thing. He's so profound, but yet they haven't caught up with him, and so he feels that sense of loss.
Yep.
Yeah, there's love
it's all
missing.
about timing in life. You got a good point. It is all about timing
Yeah.
in life. Last night we had a VIP party, and I had to drink Canadian Mist or whatever, the cheapest whiskey on the shelf. And there is a love for
Yeah.
Crown Royal. And I was missing it. The fact that they didn't have that at this satellite bar. But
That's funny.
as you were saying that, there's a love connection missing. And last night, that was missing on my one cocktail I allowed myself. I had to drink the gutter cocktail. It was horrible.
It goes a little deeper than that.
Had fun. Is it? Okay.
It's actually, you have a fear of really being seen for who you are. So you don't have a fear acting. You don't have a fear showing up in front of a camera, being somebody else. But you really have a hard time on who you are. And too much attention on you makes you very insecure. So when it's about you.
I hear you.
Yeah. And so, there's some unlovable going on in here, and yet it doesn't matter. All 5 of us, 6 of us in the room can tell you that you're lovable. There's this belief that you're not, and yet you are. And all I can say is it is within you, and there is someone there for you.
Do you think maybe because he gets cast in these big, scary monster roles that it's perpetuated in his mind? You're
It
scary,
could
you're
be.
scary, you're scary. So subconsciously he's like, well, maybe I'm scary.
It could be. It could be feeding that, okay? Yeah. But see, it's a great way for him to hide behind that.
Yeah.
Perfect thing for him.
It's
perfect.
Yeah, hide
Yeah,
behind
it
it.
fits.
He's playing it with us now, even.
Yeah, he has been.
We do that. We do that as actors. We hide behind
this.
But it holds you back on a personal level. That's where it holds you back. Your career's doing great. Your career's going to continue to grow. It will continue to do great. But it's holding you back. Personally. You're hiding behind it.
If I was there, I'd hug you, bro. I'm hugging you.
If you were here, we'd all hug you.
No one else is hugging a 6'10" dude except you.
Just me, man. Just me, bro.
In size 17 shoe. I'll try it.
I have to share
We
with
can all
you,
fit
James
in your
is a
shoe.
very physical person. He likes to hug a lot.
And that drives you crazy.
Yeah. He's like, get off me, man. Get off me, man. Come here, buddy.
Well, I was talking to James about this on the way in. He's so adorable in person, but he just looks so big and scary. And he goes, I have to always try for the parts where I'm the evil killer sociopath.
Dude, and coming up showing up for the premieres in that giant coat and the hat and everything
doesn't help.
Doesn't reduce the anxiety around you. He wears this duster that goes to the floor, so it's like 6'8" coat and a giant looks like an animal. He killed an animal to put it on. Am I wrong?
Got to go with it, right?
And then a hat that puts him up another 4 inches.
Yeah, I was like Robert Mukes showing up to that carpet event. I look pretty.
Well, do you have to maybe do these guys need to get a bigger attitude about how they cross over and keep it because they're super nice, but then they play
because that's acting for us for real. Because they're like, go and be scary. I'm like, well, how do I do that? Because through life, I got to be nice to everybody and hi, how are you?
So you don't intimidate.
Yeah, so I really got to dumb it down and be really nice to everybody. Which I'm Canadian, so that's great. That's inherent anyway.
All right.
But
that's a plus right now.
So they're like, do that scary acting thing. I'm like, oh, okay, so. There you go. It's like it's awesome. So not natural for me to be a mean person. It's really not.
Because you're not. You have
so that's real acting for us. Because me and Robert are bigger, softer guys. I think we have to be. We can't go through life, hey, get out of my way and doing all that stuff. So we have to be softer. And naturally, growing up as the biggest kid in class, I was always play nice with everybody, play nice. So, and now I have to go to the acting jobs with be scary. And it's like I really don't know how to be scary except when I'm acting.
For the record, you're pretty good at it.
Oh,
that's just for the record.
That's all in the editing. It's all in the editing. It's in the editing.
You are an awesome actor, James.
Dude,
yeah, I've got a story to share with you guys. One time, I used to play basketball, and a lot of the good competition is inner city. And so I used to play inner city basketball, and there was this guy I had a little bit of a conflict with. And, I growled at him a little bit. And he said, you know what, you big motherfucker? If you fuck with me, I'm going to shoot you, and I'm not going to get in trouble for it. And I thought, damn, he's got a good point. Like, if we go to court, he was just defending himself.
And
so that kind of gave me a perspective on being nice to people, James. Way back in my early 20s, late teens, we're a little bit too big to get in a fight. Because if we get in a fight, they can,
you kill somebody.
Cheat.
Right.
They can stab or shoot us, and
if
you go to
if
court
you
and
hit
he's
some
just
road
defending himself. Look how big that dude is.
if the road rage happens and people step out of their car.
So we're almost forced to be nice guys.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. I'm with you, man. Yeah, because if some guy squares off with us, I'm like, he knows something I don't know. Oh, he's got a gun. That's what it is. And boom, boom, boom. Officer, look at the size of him. Oh. No problem.
Exactly.
And it's like,
I think Jennifer would like to talk. She came up with something.
We're kind of painted. We're in a corner where we have to be nice in our society, so we don't get taken advantage of ourselves in the court situation, et cetera, and so on.
Quickly, I want Lisa to address something about how you grew up, your ancestors, and how your family dealt with the size of your body, on your soul, and what you've had to deal with over the years. And I think that's something that Lisa looks into when she reads you, because she has this ability to see your ancestry through your soul somehow. So I mean, I was going to address that because that's how being the parent of a child like that also it
would be hard. Yeah.
Are your parents big, buddy? Are your parents big?
My grandfather was 6'5", which is like for that generation. That's kind of like the size that we are, James.
Yeah.
And my mother's an average size lady. She's 5'6", but her brother is 6'8", and out of nowhere he's 6'8".
Tall
it's really weird. And so, like, the combination of my grandfather and my uncle, I think that's how I got the 6'10" thing going on.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up.
So
I don't know.
in the lineage, people were blamed or called out as being a bully when they weren't being. So it's similar to what you're already talking about, where you're afraid of being criticized, not criticized isn't the right word, where you're afraid of being blamed for something you didn't do.
Oh, yeah.
Which happened to Robert as a child. You would get blamed for things you didn't do. Just by virtue of size, all right? And teachers would call you out just because of your size. And so here you are as an adult, and you're ready for these other parts, and you're kind of stuck in what you believe because you were taught this way. I call it an energy blueprint. And we make this blueprint by the time we're 7 years old based on how we interact, how we're treated by other people. In our family, mostly, okay, and in society. So, yes.
So what can he do to change that?
Well, you have a very strong vibration of unlovable. So can I clear it for you?
Yeah, Robert, let her clear some energy here, buddy.
Is that okay with you, Robert? Because you have to give me permission.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Go for it, buddy.
All right. So let me clear this. This unlovable is actually on your father's side, father's father. Okay, it goes back 10 generations, so clearing this inherited unlovable, a belief within you, deep within you, that no matter how you show up, it's not enough. Releasing unlovable from the DNA tissues and the fibers, the tapestry of your lineage, your body, how it shows up for you, present tense, where it's blocking love from others and where it's preventing others from seeing your heart. Releasing this fear of being visible on a soul level. You're not afraid of being visible, I said that, but you're afraid of having who you are at your core being visible. If it's not a joke, then you don't want to be known. If you can, you deflect it onto everybody else. So So releasing this past, present, and future, where it's showing up as this fear of being known for who you are. There you go. Now, while I'm at it, though, let me send some love to you. So, okay. And we all will. So we're just going to think about this. So replacing this, that the dews of heaven might distill upon your soul, that you might feel confident and secure in showing up in the world for who you are. All right? You have a beautiful gift of connecting with people. Own that. Connect with people one-on-one. Don't deflect them. Connect with them.
Awesome.
Okay. It will help you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Awesome, Robert.
I like your voice.
Thank you.
She's good.
Mine.
So, and she's new to the broadcast, so I'm learning with her. I'm trying to, figure out how she works and what she does, and we're going to talk to Drew and let you go. Robert is going to be at the Spooky Empire in Orlando, Florida, everybody. So if you want to meet him, that's where he is right now, actually. And in January, he'll be at Comic-Con in New Mexico. So go get your photos and meet this scary guy who happens to be super lovable.
Super lovable, buddy.
And,
super
and then
lovable.
Also, is there anything else you want to say before we let you go? Thank you so much.
You guys are fantastic.
James,
it was a pleasure talking to you. And I don't know.
Susan?
I think we just keep plugging away in life.
Hey, buddy.
And
Robert.
Go ahead.
Okay, before you go,
Yes,
Jennifer wants to have the last
really
word.
Fast. I think that your next season,
Okay, cool.
so the season that you're not a part of, you're going to be the part of towards the end and towards the third. I'm just letting you know that.
That would be
don't lose
amazing.
hope.
That would be amazing.
No,
Thank you.
and I'm getting 9, so
When
I don't know
it
if it's the
happens-
9th episode
When it
of
happens,
the
you guys
second
have
season.
you have to have me back on the show when it happens.
Okay,
So,
all right. I'm
is this
pretty
going to
good
be
at this.
Westworld?
Yeah.
He's been
Yes.
You know, and a lot of...
If you were on Westworld, dude, you got to let us come to the set. I'm looking at you, James. She just said something, and I went, she knows something. She knows something, dude.
I'm just saying, yes, I would love to. I'm pretty good about that stuff, but what she just did, I don't even feel like saying anything. Like, that was so powerful. I was already giving you love. She's like, let's give him love. I'm like, are you doing that?
Oh.
It was amazing.
We're hoping this will be a transformational moment for you. So
I'll keep you posted.
Wonderful
anyway.
meeting you,
Me and
James.
Susan are always in connection. I'll keep you posted how Robert's doing.
We'll have you back when you're in town. So thank you, and have a great day, Scary
Robert.
Mahalo.
You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and pleasure talking to you. Thanks, James.
That's Robert.
For having me on the show.
All right, man. I'll talk to you this week.
Thank you.
Later, buddy.
Thank you.
Bye.
God bless. And so Drew had a 45-minute interlude with a little bit longer, a little bit more intimate on the couch in the other room before everybody got here.
And you're okay with that?
Yeah, just
good.
She kept checking up, strangely enough.
You guys okay in there?
I'm willing to share in these moments, but I do, now we've seen how Lisa connects and what she does, and this is all new to me. I was given her information from Candace, who's a friend of ours. I can't remember her last name.
Candace Barr.
She
has a station here.
She works on UBN, and she suggested you come because she was just totally blown away by your energy healing, which I think we all need. And even though
I'm next.
we all have, great lives and wonderful things going on. I know James does, everybody does, and Drew does, but sometimes things kind of get a little wonky where you just don't feel secure, in Hollywood especially, because, it's feast or famine around here. But Drew did have a good energy cleansing in the room, and I want him to basically give us an idea of how he he understands.
Why don't you describe what you do, and I'll describe what I experienced. How about that?
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. I have a gift. I think Jennifer and I share very similar gifts. But one of the things that feeds my soul is releasing informational tags, which is in the epigenetics, which is in another way of saying it is I release inherited traumas, fears, the things that get passed down in our cell memory. Ancestors come to sessions because when I release it from Drew, it released from his mother and his father, it released from his 3 children, if they inherited it. Now, as parents, we don't pass it down to our kids on purpose. Our lineage did not pass it down to us on purpose. We can't help it, but we do not have to keep it because we get a lot of gifts and our talents from our lineage, but we also get this other stuff, and it'll show up in our life.
And so I call it intergenerational transmission of trauma, right?
Okay.
And so there's genetic and epigenetic. So we have all this genetic stuff coming through us from our ancestors, undeniable. And then the environment in which we are raised, also influenced by multiple experiences through generations. Right. And that all rains down on us. And I'm acutely aware of all that. And Lisa creates a space that's very similar to how Jennifer works and Rebecca works and everybody else, just this intuitive space that opens up. Good therapists work this way. And stuff starts flowing back and forth.
Right.
Yeah. And she very quickly tuned into some stuff that was, blocking and bothering. And
did she seem spot on with what she came up with? Was it different than what she did with Robert?
Deeper and more complete, I'd say.
Or different types of things.
Because it's different when you're in a spotty space together. It's a totally different thing. But you hadn't described how you would say it.
Well, I have a belief that our ancestors mean that, they serve our highest good. So I might hear that they tell me, like, I already knew Robert felt unlovable, for example. Okay, first time I heard his voice. But that doesn't mean that that's what his body would want me to release first. So just because I hear it does not mean that's what I trust. So I'm trained in a lot of kinesiology, all right? And that's how I'm able to go deeper. So I will test the body. I will ask the body what needs to be released to allow, or what's causing you from not going bigger in the world, right? And then think of it this way. It's a vibration trapped within us. So if it was easy, or if the body resonated with what's the megahertz trapped, then I could ask that, and I could get a number. But that's not how we live our life, is it? Mm-hmm. We live our life in words, by words, in emotions. Mm-hmm. So I'm finding that emotion that's trapped. How does that sound? I mean...
Sounds right. Sounds
So-
right. I mean,
so right.
we use different words to describe it, but we're describing
Right.
experiences and feelings who
Absolutely.
aren't exactly described by words. Another thing she does too, interestingly, if you notice, her right hand is very active, which is
Yeah.
a very. I've
Left
noticed
brain.
a lot of psychics do that. We call it a releasing behavior.
Okay.
So
Well, for me, this hand gets busy when I'm doing phone sessions or we're in a group like this because I can feel it how it gets wrapped around in the body. I can see the body like in a three-dimensional, all right? And so I'm unraveling it. It's just my way of doing my stuff while I'm in it.
And I
Yeah.
see everybody as a hologram when I'm looking
Yeah.
at medical stuff. And so I get pinpoints
Exactly.
and it's just a hologram. So
And
it's
so
the same thing.
sometimes if you pull it
That's
out,
interesting.
and when you
Wow.
do that, the body responds, the subconscious responds. Yeah.
So I have all kinds of subconscious stuff flying around. A lot of it,
Yeah.
so a lot of
Yeah.
it I'm partially conscious of, I'd say, right?
Yeah.
Partially aware of.
Yeah.
But it's all embedded in our bodies, which I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no doubt about that. And how our body processes with our brain is an incompletely understood thing.
Right.
And Lisa gets at that in a holistic way.
So what did you
Is that
learn
right?
from it, though? Did it help you?
It's not about learning, I would say. It's about releasing.
It's a freedom.
Yeah, it's about.
Yeah.
It feels like something. What is going on with your mic? Is no good. Okay, but it's something that I would say I craved. The kind of what was the word we used to? What you give? What do you give?
I see with clarity, so you're going to feel very understood
Yes,
with me.
yes.
I see the soul. I see potential within you that sometimes we forget about, right? And think of the character. I'm going to go off topic just for a second because I want to give you can't see energy, but I'm going to give you a visual. Think of the character in Charlie Brown by the name of Pigpen. Pigpen has the dust cloud all over him, right? But he's a great kid.
Great kid.
Okay?
So cute.
That's what's blocking some people from seeing you for who you are. That's what was blocking Robert. People couldn't see him for who he is right? But it's also what blocks you from seeing out with clarity. So I just release that. Think of it like that.
You just give Pigpen a bath.
I do.
But
A little bit at a time,
For
though,
me,
okay?
I was probably hungry for what you had.
You were
right?
very much hungry.
Yeah.
And
You
it
were ready
doesn't
for
matter
it.
how
Yeah.
successful you already are. There's another level to go to.
There's always,
I've worked with
always
people in the
level.
industry where they're the up and coming and they want to get out there. Well, there's energetic blocks that we're not aware of that prevent that from happening. Or what about the entertainer who's been successful, who's all of a sudden just really irritated they have to go and do an audition where they should not have to do that? Well, that's a stubbornness and a resistance to change, okay? And you get rid of the vibration because they cognitively know they have this ego. But it's the vibration. Once you get rid of that, it just frees you to be who you are.
Yeah, I can feel my feet dragging sometimes. I just feel like I can't get. It's like something there. I don't know what it is. That's not depression or nothing. But I just feel like
I'm going to let you be next.
okay.
Okay.
I'll wait.
Now,
But-
You're going to release me?
well, Drew.
No.
Yeah, Drew has a conference call before the next
Oh
show.
my God!
What time?
At 3:20. I
Okay.
got time.
Okay, but what I find interesting is, how open Drew is to all this process and everything. And, this is, it's sort of like therapy a little bit.
It's I think of these things in very specific ways, but I believe humans experience things in a connected way that way outside of our consciousness and sort of things that we're not used to opening ourselves to. I'm aware of it because I was the subject of it in therapy, and I've been in situations where
Right.
I receive things when I'm taking care of patients that are uncanny.
That intuition, that's right.
And so I know to trust that there's a lot more here going on than just the linear brain stuff.
But you put the linear words with the unknown.
Yes, I try.
And that's the greatest part about what you do.
I try,
Yeah.
but
you really
to
do
be
it.
fair, I sort of need that to walk into it myself.
No, I get that.
So
but that's what
that's
I
my
see
thing.
you doing. You help us. You help validate us. I mean, Freddie never knew what I did until you told him, apparently.
Her husband Freddie.
Said it in English.
But all these things, experience them how you experience them. These are experiential phenomena. They're not movies. They're not narratives. They're not words. They're experiences, and we don't put
Right.
enough.
Per each individual.
Right.
Very different, and you creates this experience, and I know what I experienced,
So-
but I imagine other people experience something different.
If you don't mind me
Similar but
asking,
different.
Similar but different.
what did she help you unblock something? What was the specific
what would she say?
thing?
What do you say?
What was the
Absolutely.
specific thing?
I know what I'm thinking.
Is
of.
this the wife asking or the host of the show?
Am I like
Who's
free
asking?
to share some fears you have?
The wife's asking. The wife is asking, not the
This
host
is
of the show.
I know,
Right.
not the
Asking.
host, but the wife.
Yeah, because I live with him every day. I want to see how close you are.
What's going on?
There was a deep fear within him of having too much money, right? A deep fear of not being safe, and it came from his mother's side. This fear of having too much, the fear of being, right?
Chills.
It is, because somebody in her lineage was harmed, okay, and
she was so
cheated.
paranoid.
Was she paranoid?
Oh, okay.
She's extremely, okay.
Gotta love her,
And
though.
so you can't go to that next level. You're going to hit that ceiling. You're going to hit that wall every time, and your body's going to find out a way. You're going to get sick. You're going to
Manifest
sabotage
itself.
yourself. You're going to do all sorts of stuff to get past that, and it doesn't happen. So that's how you can have a cognitive realization that, yeah, my mom was paranoid, but it doesn't affect me. Well, it did affect him.
It did affect you.
It did.
That's
So we cleared that fear of more money. Okay.
And-
Good.
Buy those shoes.
But for me,
Yeah, there was more.
well, the word that again, stuff stands out in
That's
the
right,
order it
and that's
stands
what we
out.
want to hear.
And for me, the discouraging feeling,
Very
that
discouraged.
Yeah, that feeling was helped.
Oh, good.
Really
Yeah.
helped.
Oh,
And
wow.
I've been feeling very discouraged.
Yes.
And as I thought about it, I've been very discouraged for like 3 years or something.
You get deflated,
CNN.
though.
I have one word.
well,
CNN.
Deflated is another way
Just
of
the
Deflated,
deflation of his-
discouraged.
There's a lot of men
Yeah.
that feel like that right now because they know they're supposed to be doing something so much better, and they know they're supposed to be doing something great, but they don't know the in between stages, and that's where they get discouraged.
Well, which is another thing that she
did.
pointed out,
She-
which she said things like, don't worry about the goal, or don't worry about
Right.
Don't worry about the
process.
end
Yeah.
goal.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and so he was
Yeah.
concerned about how do I get from here to here, and that's what you got to let go of.
Right.
And yet
I
he
agree.
has a lot of trust. He'll
Right.
take that risk, but this is different because he's wanting to go out in a different way and show up differently.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I did. That was an awareness that we
Yeah.
brought to the
Yeah, yeah.
situation.
I love it when you say I know. Whenever I say I know, they're like, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Really?
does
You're
that
gonna
fit
use
your?
that?
Does that?
Yeah, that's good.
It
I'm
is
glad.
what it
that-
is.
But
I
I'm
know.
wondering.
I know.
Read her a little bit too, by the way, while we're
She
here.
did, but
Well,
but
well,
we're
but-
gonna
Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah.
Well, we did too.
I have some
Yeah.
issues with my mother and being,
And your
afraid
mother?
of being.
Her mother was a worrywart.
Yeah, and being complete. I have these dreams where I wake up and I'm 20. I'm living at home. I'm poor. I have no money. I have to get a job.
And you're cleaning your dad's toilet.
And somebody just stole all the clothes in my closet.
It's that bag
So
lady
nothing to
syndrome
wear.
I've
And
picked up
then
on.
I wake up and I go, oh, I'm a millionaire.
fine.
Well, I guess
Okay.
that was a dream. Why am I dreaming this?
Because
so
it's not
stupid.
your dream.
But
So,
I also
yeah.
have anxiety for him, I think, on some subconscious level, too. And my mother was always super careful about, well, you should save money and you shouldn't buy that and you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't, so maybe I'm still holding on to her.
Well, she was probably a child during the Depression, right? Lived through that teen years, and then
They made money in the Depression, but she just
Before-
she was a worry.
But she lived through that,
It's
though.
she
very
did live through it. She
ancestral
saw
stuff.
it.
She
It's
didn't have a ton of
ancestral.
money either, so it was like,
She lived through it. She did okay, but it was still her fear.
Yes.
And it was her parents' fear. And yeah.
And you described her, and I knew, what you were talking about because I do dream about that all the time. And we were just talking on the phone. She didn't know who I was. She didn't know who I was.
By the way,
married
she
to.
gave me nothing
Yeah.
to work with. I mean, nothing.
She
And I was
couldn't-
like,
Yes.
Yeah, I'm terrible. I'm just like, okay, I got 15 minutes. Show me what you got.
Other than
which
that,
is not what I
Your chaos dream.
Susan's like that all the time, by
Is
the
she?
way. She's like,
Yeah.
hey, what do you get from this? I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not sure.
I'm
I'm
not-
babysitting right now. Figure that out.
So we'll let Drew go, and thank
Okay.
you so much for doing that.
Thank you, Lisa. It was
sweetheart.
really a privilege. It's very.
I mean,
very-
it's
Felt
always
good.
nice
Hey.
to have
Okay.
him on the show.
And Drew, thank
Sure.
you for describing it in words that you know to the audience because it helps us.
These are all, yeah.
Thank
and,
you.
And these experiences have been under-examined, in my humble opinion. That's why I'm watching you guys all so carefully and like, trying to
Well,
examine.
thank you
understand
because
it.
can
my
go
husband
deeper with
knows
that.
what I do.
Yeah, I
now.
think so.
Yeah, I think so.
So
There's a lot to talk about.
Now, after, do we have a break? Okay, we're going to do a little promotion for Hydrolyte because we love this product so much.
So good.
And we, even though they're not a true sponsor of the show, but they are drdrew.com. All of our podcasts are on drdrew.com, and we want you to click on the banner for Hydrolyte and try this stuff out because it's amazing. Everybody here loves it. Nate loves it. Jen loves it.
I love it.
You're going to love it too. So,
Perfect.
James.
I do. I have a bunch. You gave me some last
It's
time.
amazing, and it's great
I don't have
after
any.
a 7-hour Dodger game when you may have drank
yeah.
too much. It's good for the flu. It's good for
it's good for waking up.
overall well-being. You feel
during a
charged.
workout.
You feel
It's-
charged after having that. You feel good. You feel complete. You feel
Is it going
whole
to give me
again.
Everybody who
a
tries
high
it-
where I can't go to sleep?
No,
Hold on a
no,
second.
zero
Hold on.
high.
But I don't want this
You're very
this company to
sensitive.
go out of
It might
business.
make
So
you-
listen to the ad.
I'm not taking it.
Click on the banner, and we'll be right back.
Hydrolyte is the best rehydration product I have ever seen. I, for quite some time, was planning to invent something like this. I just kept saying we should be able to put a fizzy tablet in a bottle of water, and it would have enough solute, we call it, because water is not enough. You need something in it, sort of a salt-like solution, and electrolyte replacement. I think most people know that, but they don't know that most sports drinks don't provide that, and they do provide way more glucose than Hydrolyte. So what you need is Hydrolyte to do it better than any of the sports drinks. In fact, Hydrolyte comes in great flavors, orange, berry, and lemonade. It's available in a pre-mixed drink or a powder. Of course, I like those effervescence tablets because that's what I imagined, and they're easier to cart around, and boy, you can get rehydrated right away. Just drop it in a glass of water. Compared to sports drinks, Hydrolyte delivers up to 4 times the electrolytes with 75% less sugars. You understand? That's the difference. Hydrolyte solutions are appropriate for all ages, and each bottle or package includes easy-to-follow dosing instructions. You can find Hydrolyte at Rite Aid or hydrolyte.com/Dr. Drew. Again, hydrolyte.com/DRDREW. And for a limited time, our listeners save 30% on Hydrolyte. Just click through the banner on my website. Use the code DRDrew18 at checkout. That is DRDREW18 at checkout. So either go to my website and use that code, or go to hydrolyte.com/DRDREW and use the code DRDREW18.
Use the code DRDREW18. That's hydrolyte.com/Drew, Dr. Drew. And I'm back here now, and we are going to let Jen sort of get started with my friend James, who made it today. He had a great call today and almost couldn't make it in. I was like, no.
I was that guy.
good.
Oh, I can't come in today. She's like, it's like in 2 hours.
No,
I'm like,
I said,
can't-
really?
I can't make it.
No, I micromanaged him a little bit. I did the
Okay.
PR.
But it's good though.
But
You got it
no,
all done.
and honestly, we have a good 20 minutes so we can get into your psyche.
Peel the onion.
And I want you to really feel this because I know you wanted to come back and
for sure.
and get this experience, and I know these two are going to work well together. So
All about improving myself. For
so
sure.
let her rip, girls.
let her
Let's
rip.
do it.
Shit.
So,
Let's go.
can I go first?
Oh, please.
Okay, thank you. So, what I was saying before, and I told you a little bit this off the cuff, about how Friday was important, right? And then I said you were going to get a call back, and there's something very significant, and there was something about February of next year, and then I said that after you said that something was going to be filmed in March or whatever. And I'm looking I was trying to look the way she does. I don't have the terminology, but looking into it, you're good to go. You're ready. You're good to go. But you also, from what, and it's always interpretation. You need to go. Like it is hard for you to be a bad guy, but you have to really convince yourself it's acting, and you need to go after it. You need to go after it and don't play small, because I think you hold yourself back still with that because you're still in your own conundrum, and it's not just acting. I'm not discounting that. But if you just allowed yourself to be as evil as you wanted to be, you would fucking kill. Sorry, you would kill it.
Great analogy, because, like I said, growing up, you have to back off.
You have to back off, but that's still carrying into everything. So I need you.
Right. The brakes are on a little
What
bit.
you need to do, what I'm getting, is give yourself a 2-minute, do a photo video of yourself saying, okay, this is who I am. I'm a nice guy, like animals. Give yourself that. But I need to get transformed into this guy that is just like somebody that's going to kill everything. And you need to look at it.
That's a great exercise.
As something that when you go after it, nothing's going to stop you. Like my hands are curling. Like nothing's going to stop you because nothing can. But you still hold yourself back thinking, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you.
Totally. Especially being Canadian. It's very like, I'm sorry.
So when I looked at it, I'm like, he has everything. What is it? And then it brought me back to what you said. And I'm like, if he just goes, sweaty balls all out. That's a reference from before. It was a reference from before.
That's true.
Okay.
Before we're on the air.
Before.
Yes,
She's a comedian.
So when I see you doing this, I see you just going like nothing can hold you back. I need you to kill as many people as you can. I need you to know that no one gets hurt. You still in your mind feel like you have to hold back so they know who your true self is. Yeah. Know that you can command it now.
You're right.
And just go after it. Yeah. And don't hold back.
Because I stay grounded. I still keep one foot on the ground. You're right.
Don't.
That'd be a great exercise.
Don't.
Film myself just
Film
being
yourself
nuts,
just going.
You know what I mean? And be like, okay.
All right.
Be a psychiatric mess.
This is me. I'm just acting. So if anyone finds the tape, I don't go to jail.
This is me. I'm just acting. And I have held back because I am a sweet teddy bear and I love my wife and I love this work. But I have to go into a mean character. So in order for me to be a mean character, I need you to let me go as a good person. I'm still going to be a good person. This is all acting.
Wow, this is fantastic.
And you will terrorize it, and you will get to the best that you can be. This is the only thing that I've seen hold you back. Because you still feel like you're supposed to be both. But you have to know you don't have to be both.
Yeah, he is really nice.
You're right.
We're like best friends.
That's so good.
He sends me little heart emojis all the time.
He's holding back, but
it's so cute.
The people that get you know that.
I know.
But I need you to try, and I'm going to say this.
I think it's because everyone who doesn't know me, I think I'm like, honestly, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
I hear you.
What I saw, and I don't mean to make things bad, but Heath Ledger. I saw Heath Ledger. He got into his character
because he was
a
drug addict.
Well, okay, but you're not. But he released himself from being Heath. You need to release yourself from being James.
The thing is, when I released myself at 6'6", 280, it's a scary time. So people are like, "Oh my God, call the cops!" So it is. I don't say I've done. I think maybe I have been intoxicated or something a couple of times, and people are like,
"Holy crap!"
Dude, shut that down. So I've been told to put that back in the bottle a couple of times.
Put that back in the bottle, but don't. Just know when you walk up there, just go. Think of like I have an ultra stripper ego named Natasha. I'm Natasha at times. Like think of yourself.
Oh, make like an alter ego.
Make an alter ego of yourself and just go, okay, who am I right now?
Thanks for sharing,
Click.
Jennifer.
Sorry. Click. I didn't know how else to say. I'm like, I'm not like anything else.
That's fantastic. I'm getting so much great information from you right now. I'm just snowballing in my mind.
Think of your superhero. So your superhero is somebody that can command anything. And maybe, that you're going to think of whatever it is. You can keep it to yourself, the name. It doesn't matter. But that energy is going to go, whoop.
Yeah, it's like when you open the file. Oh, here he is. And you're just
that's
like,
it.
it's
you're
just
like, okay, I have to go do that.
Fantastic.
Right? And then you won't have any... then you won't have any judgment with yourself after it's done.
Yeah, you're right.
Because you have judgment. You're like, was I too good?
Maybe I shouldn't.
I shouldn't have been so, I should have done something else, bat that person over the head.
Just have that ready and just go click.
Just go.
So we don't want you to release your demons today. We want you to keep them inside.
We want
you to the dark side.
We want you to know that it's you in its fullest force, but in a great place. It's not going to hurt anybody. How great is that?
Yeah, in a safe place. You're right. Oh, one time I was in a film one time, and they're like, okay, we need you. You're the burglar. Come in and trash the room. I had a mask on. They give me a bat, and I'm like, what do you mean? They go, just hit everything with this bat. That was very therapeutic. I just smashed TVs, tables. That was
so go back to that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Go back to that.
Cool. Because I had the mask on. I was hiding behind the mask.
Is good.
Yeah.
Because
I think I do hide behind this.
You
I
do.
I think
you do.
I don't know if I should reveal too much information. Like you want people to figure me out.
The only other thing is nobody's going to benefit by you playing small at all.
No, zero.
You have to go
for sure,
after
especially
it.
me.
You're born in this.
You have to go after it.
So maybe I feel the vibes coming out.
Right. Now
said,
I love everything she
She's
said.
going to tell you to tone it down.
She's like, no, don't do that. Just
how can he bring out his psycho
I'm actually
side?
not going to tell him to tone it down, but I think part of your fear is, or the reason you hold back is because you are going to be stereotyped as this is your only role. So do you realize that you have other acting abilities besides the mean guy?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And
That's one of your.
Yeah, that's the thing I wanted to show.
And the other thing is that I picked up that this image that you're portraying affects people. And there's, even if it's an unconscious feeling that you have, it is about how am I impacting these people that are going to be watching it. So and that is because you are so kind. Now you can play this role and pretending and doing that and know that it's not going to change who you are. And there is a fear about it changing you. Do you have to live it? Will you take it on? There's that's going on too.
I don't want to be perceived.
You don't. It's future tense that you don't want to be perceived this way. Now, I do feel you'd make a great executive in a movie. So I loved when she brought up it will happen, and I love when she brought up who's your superhero, because that's what's going to get you through all this.
Right.
Superheroes, all of them on the good side, all have a good side. The Hulk, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you could,
good,
right?
Yeah.
They fight for the right cause. Mm-hmm. And it's going to take you into that next level, but you also want to start educating these agents of yours, okay? Mm-hmm. If you don't have more than one, you will. Mm-hmm. Is that you want to play other roles. I want to be big, but I want to play another role.
And I think that the industry is like, okay, I had a great example I went into for an audition on Friday. Let me just give you the quick little synopsis. Basically, the opening line is, "Are you ready, babe?" So the casting director's standing across from me. So I looked on the call sheets, a bunch of stunt guys, a couple of big guys. So I'm like, I'm an actor. I'm going to nail this, right? So are you ready, babe? So I know they're all saying it like this. Are you ready, babe? So this is how I did it. Are you ready? Babe. Right?
Perfect.
Casting agent goes, that's not how everybody else is saying it. I said, well, that's my choice. She goes, no, say it like everybody else. So they're looking at me as a big meathead. Right. Dumb it down and fit in this compartment. Right. Don't think and don't do this. Right. I've auditioned several times. It's like, you don't audition like a big guy. We're looking for a big guy. You're not auditioning like a big guy.
But that's one of the things that are holding you back, right? Yeah,
so I'm trying to fit into this slot because I have this. So I'm trying to fit into this shoe, so to speak. So like I'm dumbing myself down almost.
Don't do that.
But the industry's not ready for me yet. Like listen, the role I got from Jason Momoa, I had to be bigger than Jason Momoa, so I had to be 6'6", 280 pounds, do my own stunts, talk with Siberian accent at the same time.
Well, you do it very well.
So I'm like, these are the roles that great. So the roles I get are these crazy roles that like only I can play.
Right.
And like so when I go for it and everybody else, we just need a talking head. So it's like me and like 20 guys. But if you start peeling the onion, I'm like the last guy standing. So I should technically be. But that role is like, we're not ready for you yet. Like, I mean, Arnold has an accent he couldn't lose. Van Damme, like all these stars are all still, it's like Hollywood's not that for a creative environment. They're not really that creative. They're kind of, so I show up and that's not what we're looking for.
They go based upon what has worked.
So be aware of when you're talking to people. It's not going to come probably through your agent. It'll come in a role that, what about this? What about that? One-on-one, you're going to be talking with somebody and they're going to go, you're the one I want. Okay.
That'd be great. Yeah, that's why I moved to Los Angeles is for the relationships because I'm from Toronto. We sent self tapes and stuff, and I'm like, I think I need the relationships. I think I need to be in front of the casting people and the directors and go to Dr. Drew's birthday party.
Yeah, that was fun, huh? Did you meet anybody there in live?
It was so
fun.
Awesome.
What a great night that was.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you had fun. That was fun for me too when it was over. No, but I loved seeing everybody. It was really fun to do.
It's that's what I was saying. You got a great group of friends, and I was happy to be there.
Thank you. Everybody loved you. Everybody's like, who was that guy?
Everyone said that.
Who was that good-looking guy?
Good-looking.
I'm like, Sloan. She goes, no, I love both of them. I'm like, okay, as long as I get. I'm like, yeah, she's right. She loves both of them.
Both of what?
My wife?
Him and his
wife.
Your
wife. Your wife.
Sloan. And I love your wife Sloan too. So much. She goes, I love them so much. I'm like,
I forgot she had met them. That's right. Yeah. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Okay, that's fine.
So,
what should I do? Is there like a what should I do?
What does he meditate on, or how you?
Or can you clean me or something? Or
clean it. We need your energy cleansed.
You need an energy
clean
cleanse.
the Charlie Brown.
Okay, let's see what we can do here.
You have like a You're afraid of. There's this belief that you can't get out in multi-dimensional ways, and it's really a fear that you're going to be pigeonholed. It really is, and you've got so many other facets. So there's one. You got this fear, and the fear of moving forward. There's a fear of going bigger. Is this so? It just doesn't make sense, though. What else are you afraid of? Go deeper with me.
What am I afraid of? That's a good question. I think, like being, for an actor, I think I'm actually afraid of being out there. Almost.
I think
like
you are too.
Like I hide behind the fact I'm an actor. I hide behind being an actor. Maybe
right.
I think.
Not as much as your friend does. Okay, not like that. But see, when you had a mask on, you could tear that room up, and it was no problem because there was no repercussion of it. Yeah. Your kids aren't going to grow up and go, "Yeah, Dad only played these bad, awful people," and you are sensitive. So let me clear the. You pick up other people's vibrations pretty doggone easy. Okay,
I think so yeah,
you do. So if you're playing a really dark, there's a difference between being a mean guy and a dark guy. That's a big fear for you, playing dark. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I still like playing safe. I hide behind my size, let my size show that I'm big and scary, and I don't really have to do it. I don't have to get into it. I can kind of. That's right. So how about we clear the fear of being bigger? Because see, it's complicated with your size, and you also are not about. You don't have a big ego. All right. No, I don't so there's that little bit. Will it change me? Okay. Yeah. So let's clear this fear of being bigger. Now, your mom has fear, but this is mom's side too. Mm-hmm, that's funny. It is definitely your mom's side. It's a different type of fear, though. She actually fears for you. She fears that you're going to get corrupted. Okay, she fears that Hollywood will change you, even though she knows and trusts that you're a good guy. You are a good kid. You're a good kid. All right. Yeah, your mom loves you. Good. Okay. Yeah. So clearing the fear of going bigger in the world, clearing the fear of playing parts that do not depict who you are on a soul level, clearing the fear of retribution, people coming after you, interesting, right? Mm-hmm. Clearing the fear that's holding your feet from moving forward, clearing the fear of speaking up for yourself, okay? Telling people what you want. You have a fear of speaking up for yourself. Okay, the fear of not being seen and known for who you are, the fear of being pigeonholed. It's interesting, pigeonholed, pigeon-toed, feet. Okay, so clearing this out of your feet. Okay, yeah, I do have a problem. My feet always hurt. You do have a problem with your feet. They always hurt. Okay, do you have arch supports? You need arch supports. Okay, I need something. Yeah, you do. Like even when it's not, they'll help you. Just like on fire, they're not like. They're just always just like hot, and they're just always bothering me. You have one leg longer than the other, so I think so. So one support might help your back too, your lower back as well. Yeah. Great. Okay. Awesome. So am I clear? Do I feel different? It's a little. It's a little. It is. Yeah. You've got some deep sitting. You've got these beliefs that you're afraid of hurting people. Yeah, totally. I want everybody to like me. I'd rather you have $20 in your pocket than me have $20 in my pocket, and you think I'm a great guy, and I take the 20. Yeah, go. Let me. Yeah, I got that. Hey, you like me? Great. Yeah. Is there something with Beauty and the Beast? Because I kept seeing that when it came to projects. I did my first film with Ron Perlman, who played the Beast, and that was my mom's favorite actor. There you go. So maybe, and me and him are still kind of cool. So maybe. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that just came through. But let me clear this. I'm a Leo, if that maybe. I have no idea what Leo means. Well, let me tell you what Leo means, which is perfect for you. Leo is about showing up in the world. Leo is about, for you, now let's drop the Leo, you need to be respected for who you are. So you're a great actor, and you're being in these certain types of roles. That's all they'll call me in for. It keeps coming up, okay? Coming again, I'm like, but you're not. You're smart. Yeah. You are. Yeah. Okay. And you can play. Yeah. But a good sociopath. A happy sociopath. A very happy one, okay? You're going to get different roles. Most sociopaths are pretty nice. Yeah. They're very and good looking. Yeah. Yes. You're not a sociopath. No. See, now you're feeding a trigger. You're triggering something within him there. It's misrepresenting who he is. Sociopath, though. That'll get you the money, though. Okay. Well, those are the parts you're going for, too, right? Yeah, but you're right. Like, I only get called in for certain roles. Yeah. Hollywood's not ready to see a guy 6'6", 280 step in front of the camera, and then who my co-stars? Right. They're all little. I don't match in the same. They've been there before, and you might as well be the next. So let's get rid of the false. Let's get rid of the primary core belief that life has to be one way, based on your height and your size. Okay, so
She's
clearing
gonna
the
make this
primary
happen,
core
Jane.
belief.
And the thing is, I don't even know I'm this big until I see a picture. I'm like, oh my God. Because I'm looking at my eyes and
There's
we all
a
look
lot
the
of
same
movies
size,
made
you know
with
what I mean?
big guys.
Yeah.
So get rid of this belief that being big is only one
is a
way.
crutch, yeah.
Yeah.
Screw that. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. And let's clearing the pattern of hiding behind being big because of the fear, right? That that you'll be rejected.
It's like chasing itself, you know.
It is. It's just interwoven.
It really is. I can feel
It is.
that.
Now let's get you replacing this with some motivation and productivity to stand tall and strong. I said that, tall and strong for who you are. Replacing this to get your energy out into the world, to be casting roles that serve your highest good, to be seen for your highest good, to have the opportunity to use your gifts and talents in other avenues of life. I'll tell you what another problem is. Your soul isn't being fed through your roles.
No, it's not.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not. I want to say it's empty, but not
Pretty doggone close.
Fulfilllessness.
Because you haven't been up there.
Yeah.
But when you play a role, don't feel bad about playing the role.
Just get it.
Just
Nail
knock
it.
it out of the freaking park.
Stop being
and
so
know-
nice to everybody about it.
Right,
Just
knock
get
it out of the park, and that's going to get you into roles that are
It'll-
fed,
it
like
will.
for your higher soul.
So you have an audition today at 5:00.
No,
right?
I did. I
Or you
self-taped
you-
it.
You already sent
Yeah,
it.
and
That's so
I'm
cool.
editing it.
You may want to go
after
back and
this.
do it a little better this time.
Yeah, maybe I should go back and do a few
Yeah.
more takes.
So
You
how
got a
about
couple hours.
Let's
It's-
distill, right? Some empowerment.
Okay.
Okay, you're lacking some power within you. So let's replacing this that your body will accept empowerment, that you might step into your power, that you might own your power, you might embrace your power, because you know and trust that it is all in your divine timing to be seen, known, and heard.
That was beautiful. I love the
the
show.
chills.
Can I come back
I
and
love
do it
it.
again?
Yes,
We
you're my
love
co-host
having
anytime.
you.
Oh, that's
No,
great.
I wanted to do this because I know that you love it, and it is the 2 days before Halloween, so it was a perfect guest selection. So,
Now, did you call me because I'm big and scary?
yeah.
See, that's why I'm on the show. I'm big and
It
scary.
is,
Oh,
right.
not really.
So she sent me your picture, and she's like, Demonville or something like that, demon. And I looked at you, and I'm like, he has got the kindest heart.
Oh.
Like, and it is not even, I can't even go there. I can't even pretend
He
it.
would give his shirt
Yeah.
off
You
his
see,
back.
Hollywood.
He
see?
would.
Hollywood.
Just playing around.
She was.
How they make
It
it
worked.
Well, does that mean that
I
you brought
worked.
me on because I'm a psychic medium
Yeah.
for Halloween?
You're
I
a
mean,
psycho
it'd be the
Halloween.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natasha,
We're all here for the
what?
same reason.
Well, we're going to have to
It's a
wrap
show.
this up, and I want to thank you guys again for doing this. I just want to also let everybody know that you can find all the great podcasts on drdrew.com, which is our sponsor, and we also we'll be doing some more of these coming up, but I want to tell everybody where to find James. You can find him on Instagram at James_Preston_Rogers. The same with Robert Mukes. I want to say Mung. I didn't want to say it. And they have all the underscores. So you want to check them out. And
My wife set that up. My wife set that up.
they're
so,
not
yeah.
for both of you.
I
For
know.
both of you.
No, isn't that odd? We both have underscores.
I know you both have underscores.
Weird.
And
Hey.
And-
I wonder if how well does she know Robert?
and we want only the best for
Stop
you
it.
and your
Thank
future in this
Right.
crazy world of Hollywood, which nobody loves
You're going to be great.
these days.
You're already great.
Are you guys
already are.
casting a movie at any time soon?
You should. But when she said that whole business thing, I saw you behind a computer with a silver briefcase, with your hair slicked back in a suit,
You will
and
be.
commanding it. So there is a role. Like
Is
so
that
when
on
she was
film
saying
or is that in life?
That's both, I think, but more so
You
on
play
film
the-
because you don't like wearing suits.
There is actually, oh my God, I was approached by
tailor-made.
there's a show
Right.
called The Executive they're trying to push right now, and they actually want me to play, it's like
There
the
you
Black
go.
James Bond, they want me to play the mastermind bad
Perfect.
guy.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
That's
Yeah.
it.
There's
I'm not
nothing
the
wrong
muscle
with
man.
that, though.
No, it's great. I'm like,
No.
yeah,
You're gonna be
I would
okay.
love that. Oh my
No,
God.
no,
You're
You're
just
gonna
going to have
love
to
it.
find a suit that
It's a
fits you.
different role.
So
No,
good.
they'll make it
And
for you.
get some shoes off the lot that have support in them too.
I will.
And then
Yeah.
Go to a chiropractor.
Jennifer M. Shaffer is at JenniferShaffer.com. She is
SHA.
available for calls. You can get a reading with her anytime. Just please support us. She's also on my cast of Clairvoyance on Calling Out with Susan Pinsky. But check her out. you can find her through me anytime, and she will be on the next episode as well today. And then thank you so much for bringing this new, interesting experience.
Put it in our back pocket.
It's the cutting edge stuff here. You got a great show, Susan.
I think it'll help. I think it'll help Drew, and
it already has.
Not everybody knows this, but Drew does have his bad days too. I mean, even though everything he's touched in his career has been a huge success, but do check out the podcast he does, Dr. Drew podcast, the Adam and Drew podcast, also This Life with Susan with Dr. Drew, and This Life, not This Afterlife, and check it out. It's Swell Patrol. We've got a lot of stuff going on, and he's very busy. And you know what? This is a new world. There are new things coming, and everybody will be happy in the future once we let go
of
this energy.
Right.
All right. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
See you.
There's the hands here.
Thanks for listening to Calling Out with Susan Pinsky. Follow Susan on Twitter or Instagram at First Lady of Love. And check callingoutwithsusanpinsky.com for all the latest info and links to our cast of clairvoyants.